Good morning. Just figured I'd give a little quick video of these guys leaving the nest. So it's been like however many days now. These little baby Cory guys are obviously going crazy in there. So what I did was I let them stay in their little thing, but now that they're kind of swimming around and stuff, there's nothing in this big tank right here. Let me back up it a little bit. Let me see if I can. Okay, this tank is totally empty. It's just got shrimp and a couple of snails, really. This is where all the Corys usually grow out. So I'm not really worried about them actually getting eaten by anything, you know what I mean? I do worry sometimes about them going into the little tiny rocks and getting, you see, like that guy just went, he came out and just disappeared right into the rocks. So most of them go right into the mop back there and they just hang out for a day or two, and then they're big enough to know what they're doing. But sometimes I do worry a little bit about them going into, disappearing in between the rocks and then kind of just never coming out again, because I don't know, maybe they grow and they can't come back out the way they swam in, But so far they've been, we've gotten a ton of them this way, but what I usually do is I put the little breeder box in there, turned on its side. Let me back up a little bit more again, if I can. Okay, so I just put the breeder box in there on its side so that they kind of, if they don't want to come out, they could still hang out. You can see that they're definitely a bunch of guys that are just going to hang out in there for a while. Here, look at this guy, though, right on the glass right here. He's already swimming against the current and looking to go. And another little guy came down there too. He's going to do the same thing. They're very, I gotta say, so long as there's nothing in the tank that's actually just going to outright eat them, you know what I mean? They're pretty good about surviving, I gotta say. And you can see the shrimp went right in there and immediately started cleaning out all the little bit of food that was on the ground there, which was, believe it or not, a tiny little bit of I think it's called First Bites or something, which is just like fry food. But I just threw a tiny little bit in there because I get a little worried when they're first born. I know that you're supposed to let them kind of eat their egg sac for a day or two, but after a day I just throw some stuff in. But you can just see that they just, as they kind of flitter around, they'll flitter right out of the breeder box and they'll flitter right into the there goes another guy, and you can just see them back there on the mop. It's a little rough like this, but you see those guys there. So we're gonna have, again, I don't know how many were in here this time. It seemed like there was quite a lot this time. So what'll happen is, as the shrimp kind of mosey around and touch them, anybody who's actually alive and kicking is just gonna, they'll flitter right out of there. Of course, there might be, although I gotta say, this time it looked like everybody was born. You know what I mean? I don't know if you can see, there's one egg, I think, right there on the thing that maybe didn't get hatched. But it looks like everybody kind of got hatched, and it looks like everybody is doing pretty good swimming around. We'll see about any of these guys here that are still kind of hanging out. But what they'll do is they'll hang out for a while, and then the shrimp will come over and touch him, and he'll freak out and he'll go flitting around, and then they'll just disappear. So I'll check back later, make sure everybody's out of the thing here, and I'll take the breeder box out. I mean, the shrimp just go crazy though. So I'll take the breeder box back out and let these guys grow up in here now. So now this is basically our little grow out tank, I guess. But that is so cool, right? They are just little tiny, just little nothings, little worms, man. That is so freaking cool. All right, see everybody later, alligator.